Both on his introductory episode and on the latest 90 Day Fiancé episode, we have seen Patrick Mendes' home and lifestyle. Just because he did not make it to the Olympics doesn't mean that he couldn't succeed. Patrick clearly lives in a very nice home. Naturally, fans are wondering if he owns it, or if he gave himself a temporary upgrade to film the show. Patrick Mendes is a 31-year-old 90 Day Fiancé cast member from Austin, Texas. He is head over heels in love with Thaís Ramon, eager for her arrival from Brazil. He also has a visibly nice home, both inside and out. Patrick is not the only person this season with a nice house. Bilal Haziz very obviously, albeit infamously, comes to mind. But Bilal is old enough to have a teenage daughter, and is a real estate broker. Patrick is 31, making him a millennial, part of a generation for whom home ownership is a struggle to attain, let alone a 1990s scale house like the one that Patrick and his brother inhabit. A nice house in a major city does not come cheaply, with tens of millions of Americans priced out of home ownership by sprawling corporations buying up the market. Some speculate that Patrick may have rented a house that is outside of his sustainable budget, just to film the show. Hey, Real Housewives do that kind of thing all of the time. Meanwhile, others wondered if Patrick was not just being generous when he invited his brother, John, to live with him. Yes, some fans believe that Patrick was giving John a place to live, and helped him get a job with his company, after John went through some unspecified run of bad luck. Others wonder if John is paying rent to Patrick to make living in the home economically feasible. It's also possible that Patrick, who at one point admitted that he misses out on about $1,000 a day by taking days off of work to visit Brazil, is making serious money. We don't know how many days he works a week or what that schedule looks like, just that he is a regional manager for a home security company. But based upon that, he could be pulling in a hefty six-figure salary, even about $250,000 each year. Potentially. The good folks over at Starcasm did some digging, and yes, Patrick owns the house. Well, sort of. Patrick was still married to his first wife in 2018, when the two purchased the property, seemingly new at the time, for $489,900. They did take out a mortgage for 95% of the price of the 2,615 square foot house. Patrick's wife filed for divorce in January 2020. By the end of the year, they had a divorce agreement, and she signed over the house to him. So he owns it, right? Well, Patrick owned the house past tense. He sold it in December of 2021. Patrick sold the house, presumably for something in the ballpark of the $799,000 asking price. This sale came after tens of thousands of dollars in upgrades. While the timeline clearly shows that Patrick didn't purchase the house as a backdrop for filming only to flip it, he likely came away with some extra pocket change, even after all of the relevant expenses. Naturally, there are some very logical questions that follow when it comes to the sale of the house. Is Patrick still living with John, his brother? Is Patrick still living with Thaís? Is she his wife? He could be living solo in an apartment somewhere, or this crowd of three could just be in a new home or anything in between.